What's going on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video. So it looked like USC head basketball coach give us a shocking update about Juju Watkins' injury. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way to LA. Let's get it. Let's go. I'll be one of the first people to tell you guys when I was at home watching this game take place last night, it was unbelievable seeing the injury that Juju Watkins suffered. Now, no new information has been released detailing exactly what happened to her, besides the USC basketball team actually releasing a statement, and they basically stated Juju Watkins is being evaluated by USC Keck medicine staff and will not return to competition in tonight's NCAA second round game. Now, that was released during the game last night. Now, US did walk away. Fortunate event. I'm going through footage now, trying to put together the best type of sequence of video I can to kind of let y'all know exactly what happened. But clips all over the internet, man. If you guys have not seen my video before this one, I highly recommend you guys go look at it. But yeah, it's definitely gruesome as more footage is being displayed. Now, the coach did speak. With all that being said, roll the footage. Hold up on the footage. USC training staff just confirmed Juju Watkins has suffered a season-ending injury. They released a tweet moments ago. This is what it stated. Juju Watkins sustained a season-ending injury in the NCAA second round on Monday night. She will undergo surgery and then begin rehabilitation shortly after. So we will not see Juju Watkins anymore in this March Madness tournament. Guys, I will be back with you guys with another update video shortly. Roll the footage.
Can you make an opening statement, please?
Sure. Thank you guys for being here. I don't have an update on Juju because I know that's what you all want to know, other than what the statement that was put out at halftime, that she's getting incredible medical care from our, Keck Medicine and the people at USC and our trainers and doctors. So the players don't have any update either as well. So just respectfully, I'd ask you not to ask them something that they don't know. But I'm feeling a lot of emotions, obviously. But the biggest one is pride. What a performance, by this group. When you throw a bunch of talented people on a team, it doesn't become a team until you work through some things. And I always thought throughout the year that if we had something we had to work on, would be when things didn't go right away, we sometimes stressed out, And how about this? Something didn't go right for us. You never want anyone to go down, especially someone, like Juju that we all, lean on in so many ways. But this team rallied. They rallied for her. They rallied for each other. Our fans had our back. I'm just really proud. And I think we showed what kind of team we are. Credit to Mississippi State for getting to this point. But I think what you saw here was a really, good, determined team that had something to play for. And you saw the results. Kiki was unbelievable. Avery as well. And it was a true team effort. And I don't think I'll, forget this night for a lot of reasons.
Let's take questions for the student athletes. Ryan?
Hey, Coach. I just wanted to ask one more
Name
follow-up
and affiliation, please.
Sorry. Ben Verbrugge, News for Us Online. Just had one more follow-up on Kaylee. Just how much do you encourage her to be aggressive on both ends of the floor? Because it seems like when she does play really aggressive, it plays to your guys' advantage.
Yeah, in my conversations with her, it's hard to be a freshman point guard on a team that has championship aspirations, but I want her to be her as much as possible. And, we know how talented she is. Essentially the initial defender that doesn't exist. She can get by anybody. It's, I think her growth has come in reads and second level. She had 6 assists and 1 turnover, and I actually told this to someone today. It reminds me of when I was with the Cavs. I watched a lot of film with Colin Sexton because he was the same. He could get by, and then it's what do you do next? And so I'm really encouraging her to be as aggressive as possible. And when it's a parting of the sea and you can go to the rim, go to the rim. She's an incredible finisher, but also that next level of, okay, I can get by my man, and do I set us up? Do I run? And I just think when she's aggressive, those live reads happen, and her growth has been tremendous. And then on the other side of the ball, she's grown a ton defensively too, and she makes a bunch of things happen for us. So an aggressive canine is a really good thing for us.
Eric Lampkins, the second Culver City Observer, the
Eric.
Sporting Tribune. Coach, I know exactly how much each one of these players mean to you. Tonight, you lose a generational talent, arguably the best player in college basketball. The Trojan motto is fight on. How do you galvanize and how do you manage and galvanize your team to fight on without Juju?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know exactly what's going to come in these next couple hours when we find out what's going on. But I mean, you cannot tell me that the energy of that crowd and how sort of angry they were with the other team and how much fired up they were for our team is so much about what Juju has given to this arena, to this program, to this city. And you just want to give it all back, right? You want to give it all back and support her however we can. But also, the team has become a team, and deserves my best and our best to build that belief in them that they can do anything, right? And so, we don't get to go on the coaching manual script and go by everything the way it's supposed to happen, and whatever comes with it, we will make sure that we're pouring into this team, to Juju, and keeping us together, because as you saw tonight, we're capable of a lot of greatness, and that's what we'll continue to message to our team.
Let's go to Ryan over here.
Ryan Carci, LA Times. Lindsay, you mentioned just how well the team rallied after that moment. What do you tell them when you gather the team after Juju goes down?
I just try to look people in the eye and say, we can do this. We've got this. We need everybody. Stay focused and locked in on the task at hand. But they're competitors, and that's what they are naturally want to do. Have someone's back. I think they had her back. I think they had each other's back. I think stuck together and had the fan. Like I said, the fans felt really a part of that too. You had to be here to feel it. I think. I don't know if people saw that through the TV, but it was a palpable thing that I think everyone wanted to step up for one another, and I just had to guide them, in that direction.
Right here in the middle. Right here.
Layla McKenzie, Daily Trojan. Coach Gottlieb, in a game that's as physical as this one, but also one where there's some chatter here and there on the court, what do you do and what role does Kiki play in ensuring that the team just stays focused on themselves and doesn't get overly reactive to a lot of the exchanges and conversations on the court?
Yep. I mean, you heard Avery reference it, kind of the terminology I'll use, and just that there's no punks in our locker room, right? Like, there was a comment, I think, from one of their players after their last game that, SEC and we're tough. And, we know that we've got no punks in our locker room, that we have a team that's going to step up. But we also talked about doing that in a very, just the way that we do: box out, meet your passes, make the right play, move that ball. And so as the game got chippier, all we needed to do was go back to, or was to just stay being us. We weren't extra. We were just us, right? We are tough. We are physical. We are very clean in doing that. And I thought the leaders on the court, I just kept saying to them, hey, the chippier they are, the more extra they get, the more clean we need to be. And so I think you saw it in the right ways. I think they rallied for one another. I think they felt, some kind of way about Ju not being in there with them, but we rallied in a way of just getting tougher and cleaner with our execution. And I think Kiki was a great example of that, right? She just was dominant. And so was the rest of our team. And I mean, that's what you lean on, right? When you need to.
Let's go down here in the front. We'll do 3 more questions after this, okay?
Charlotte Moore, FI 360 News. Coach, you kind of alluded to where I was going with my question. You talked about the SEC, and I was thinking with the conference being SEC versus Big Ten, did you see that there was a difference in how, I guess, the intensity of playing against, was it something with the conference or rivalry, or do you think it would have mattered?
I mean, we're playing to get to a Sweet 16. It was USC against Mississippi State. conferences don't get trophies for who wins the most games in the tournament. We're trying to get us where we need to go. But that said, I think there is a perception less about it was only our first year in the Big Ten, but more about like the West Coast, right? People think, oh, West Coast teams aren't as tough or what have you, or there's a persona that maybe, teams in other areas are tougher. And it's just, I mean, if you've seen us play this year, I think everyone, would say that we're a skilled and physical team, a lot of athleticism, a lot of speed and power, and just we're not going to get punked. That's just not the way we're gonna go down. I didn't think it was anything special to do with conferences. It's just we knew they were going to come in here and try to manhandle us, and that just wasn't going to happen.
Right down here in the front.
Hi, Dominique Williams, Annenberg Media. Coach, can you tell me what was going through your mind when Malia went down and she banged her head, and just the frustration that you felt like it was coming from that team against the players, and how that turned out was for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I told you that I wasn't rattled, seeing Juju on the floor and crying. I mean, this is a human game. And so, tried obviously my best to be what I need to be for the team, but internally it's a lot. So then Malia goes down also. And she was pretty quick to say, I'm fine. I'm fine. But just in general, you always want to be supportive of your players. Just continue to remind the officials that it's okay if there's 50 fouls happening, then you call 50 fouls. If there's not, then there's not. But just reminding them to keep the game at a level that is the way we want to play it. But this is a human proposition that we're in, and seeing one player go down the way that Juju did was emotional for me. So then seeing Malia going down also, I was just relieved to hear her say I'm good.
Coach Connor Morris at 24/7 Sports over here. Can you describe your difference in emotions when the injury in the first quarter, but then Rhea hits the three and people are chanting her name and people are chanting Kiki's name. The crowd is amazing. Kaylee has that great spin. There were so many great moments tonight, despite a really unfortunate one. Can you describe your difference in emotions between that early on and then at the end?
Yeah, I mean, just so much pride. And I walked in there and I said, usually you're kind of jumping up and down and spraying water and going to Sweet 16. I said, the thing I want you to really hear me say is how proud I am of all of you. I had a quote before the last game. I was reading a quote before the game, and before the last game, it was about, individual drops of water just not being the same as a tidal wave, and I think we have so many gifted, wonderful people in that locker room, up and down. We have a lot of talent. We have a lot of really good humans, but together, you can do something that you can't do as individual drops of water. And I think we felt like a tidal wave tonight. I'm obviously just heartbroken if there's a serious injury for Juju. But at the same time, to see this place rally behind her, I hope she can at some point see just the significance that she has here, that goes so far beyond just her talent and abilities. I mean, that's what's really generational about it, the way she's galvanized everyone. And then the way that her team, had her back, and also really is a team, and we've got people who are capable and willing to step up. And so that was that mix of emotions throughout the game. And, just mostly proud of our fans and our team.